Very early in the morning of today, I did get out of my bed, and I did get dressed in a quick way. Then I climbed out of the window of the house we live in. The sun was up, and the birds were singing. I went my way. As I did go, I did have hearing of many voices. They were the voices of the earth, glad for the spring. And they did say what they had to say in the grass, and in the leaves growing out from the tips of the branches. The birds did have knowing, and sang what the grasses and leaves did say of the gladness of living. I too did feel glad feels from my toes to my curls. I did have longings to dance. Most every day I do dance. I dance with the leaves and the grass. I feel thrills. I feel like a bird. Then I spread my arms for wings, and I go my way from stump to stump and on adown the hill. The glad song is always singing, and the joy song does sing in our hearts. So it did today.
I so did to wait for the fairies that come among
When you really start looking around at nature and stop and spend some time, you can kind of see where the fairies might be living, where the animals call home. There's a little sheltered place under this fallen log. This moss looks really soft right here. Brooke thinks this grass right here is tasty. She likes to eat grass. Wow, here's a twisted branch near the edge of the river. I wonder if the river water got so high and all the debris ran into this stick and twisted it up like that.
I came to a big root, I hid it. I so did to wait for the fairies that come among the big trees.
I thought I would go to the moss box by the old log to see if the fairies did find my letter. I walked along the logs and I went among the ferns. I did have feels of their gentle movements. When I came to the box, the letter was gone. Then I did have joy feels all over. The color pencils, they were come. There was a blue one and a green one and a yellow one. More there were. I did looks at them a long time. It was so nice, the quick way the fairies did bring them. We're going on some explores today by the river. This is near where Opal Whiteley lived. What do you think, Brooke? Look at that path there. We'll follow that one in a minute, but for now, look what I just found, a really pretty smooth stick here on the ground by the river. Hey, what do you think of this stick? Should we see if it floats? Yeah? What do you think? It's pretty neat, huh? All right, let's check it out. Let's toss it into the water. How many times have you done that? Toss sticks and pebbles into the water. There it goes, floating away downstream. I like to play around in nature. It's a good time to talk to the animals and the plants and to observe nature, see what you can find. It's nice to be quiet in nature too, so you can hear the voices of the water and of the birds and all the animals. I like to hear the wind in the trees too. Where's your favorite place to play in nature? What'd you find, Brooke? Is it an animal house? Or an insect house? I like exploring the woods too. You can see the river down here through the tree branches. Look at this old stump right here. Oh, look, Brooke. It's covered with little bits of cone. This is a fir cone. And you can see that some squirrel likes to sit here and eat. This is like a squirrel's little dining room. See how it's taken this cone right here and eaten off all the seeds? Left a whole bunch of them here on top of this stump. This is a sign. This is what we call a sign in nature that an animal was here. See, this one's all eaten up. See what else we can find. I see more cones that the squirrel hasn't gotten to yet. See them right down here? The base of the tree? We can tell this is a fir cone because if you look closely, it looks like a little mousie is hiding underneath each seed. Looks like the back legs and the tail and the back parts of a little mouse hiding in there. There's a little story about that, about the mouse and why it's hiding inside the cone, hiding from a predator owl. This fir cone is its friend. The fir tree says, "Come and hide in here. Hide from the owl in my cone." Here's some more little teeny tiny mushrooms. Wow, they're so small. You see them in there? They're like little fairy stepping stones. There's a few more over this way, over this log. You see them there? Yeah. I even see a slug eating a mushroom. Can you see him? There he is, right in the sunshine on the moss. Look at those eyes. Maybe he's looking at us. Wow, right along this fallen log are a whole bunch of really pretty mushrooms. The mushrooms are doing the work of decomposing the log, along with all of the moss and lichen and insects and funguses and other little creatures. Like right here. Look at this little snail. What's it doing? Looks like it found a little hole there on top of the log and it's got its head down in the hole investigating something. What are you doing down there, little snail? Maybe found some food. I saw a silken cradle in a hazel branch. It was cream with a hazel leaf halfway around it. I put it to my ear and I did listen. It had a little voice. It was not a tone voice, it was a heart voice. While I did listen, I did feel its feels. It has lovely ones. I did hurry to the house of the girl that has no seeing, so she might know its feels and hear its heart voice. She does so like to feel things. She has seeing by feels. One day I told her about trees talking. Then she did want to know about the voices, and now I do help her to hear them. And too, I tell her about Comparer that Angel Father did teach me to play, and I show her the way. Now are come the days of brown leaves. They fall from the trees, they flutter on the ground. When the brown leaves flutter, they are saying little things. They talk with the wind. I hear them tell of their borning days, when they did come into the world as leaves. Today they were talking of the time before their borning days of this springtime. They talked on, and I did listen to what they were telling the wind and the earth in their whisperings. They told how they were a part of earth and air before their tree-borning days, and now they are going back. In gray days of winter, they go back to the earth again, but they do not die.
I walked along the logs, and I went among the ferns. I did tiptoe among the ferns. I looked about. I did touch fern fronds, and I did have feels of their gentle movements. I came to a big root, I hid it. I so did to wait for the fairies that come among the big trees.
To show them our nature collection, Brooke? All right, let's do it. So right over here, I have a beautiful branch from an acorn. This is from an oak tree, and some gorgeous lichen I found on a hike the other day. This really bright yellow-green kind is called wolf lichen, and there's some other kinds of lichen. I like to collect acorns too, because the Kalapuya native people that live and lived here in the Willamette Valley use acorns for food. You can rinse them and dry them, roast them, and pound them into acorn meal like a flour. And this right here is a piece of bark from a madrone tree. I really like it because it's really flat like paper, and you could almost kind of write on it, and it's such a pretty red color. It's kind of like birch bark. I have some more little pieces of it here. And then in this box, I have some really fun things I've been collecting. I've got, this is from like a horse chestnut, kind of an outer casing, and some little seed balls. And these are from plants in my neighborhood. They kind of remind me of lanterns, like little fairy lanterns. Got a nice feather that I found. And we've got a whole bunch of different kinds of cones. And of course, I love these little tops that come on the acorns. Those remind me of little bowls you could put in doll houses or fairy houses. A whole bunch of pretty rocks I like to collect too, and more lichen. So please show me what's in your nature collection. As I did go along, I saw many gray rocks. Some gray rocks had gray and green patches on them. Some of these patches had ruffles around their edges. The gray patches on gray rocks are lichens. Lichen folks talk in gray tones. I think they do talk more when come winter days. I hear their voices more in December than I do hear their voices in July and June time. Angel Father did show me the way to listen to lichen voices. Most grown-ups don't hear them at all. I see them walk right by in a hurry, and all the time the lichen folk are saying things, and the things they say are their thoughts about the gladness of a winter day.